In this video, we discuss basic definitions and examples of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and their examples. Let us start with artificial intelligence. By its definition, artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science focused on developing software that mimics or tries to automate human cognitive functions such as thinking, reasoning, learning, perception, and behavior. And the goal of artificial intelligence direction is to match the human intelligence, whatever it means. There is no clear still definition of intelligence in modern science, but nevertheless, artificial intelligence, AI, aims at overcoming of possibilities of human intelligence. So there are many examples. We will just mention a few of artificial intelligence. For example, virtual assistants such as Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant, which use natural language processing. Also recommendation systems such as Netflix, YouTube, or Spotify, self-driving cars like Tesla, Waymo, popular now chatbots and customer services, just to mention ChatGPT, IBM Watson, Zendesk, Live Person, and image and facial recognition, of course, Amazon recognition, Microsoft Azure Face IP, Face++. Healthcare diagnostics, such as IBM Watson Health, Google DeepMind, Path AI, and others. Fraud detection, AI is also used for this important sphere of banking transactions, just to mention FICO, Count, and Datavisor. Personalized ads, which is close in some sense to recommendation systems, such as Google Ads, Facebook Ads, AdRoll, and others. Language translation, especially now with the growth of natural language processing, NLP. We, of course, know Google Translate, DeepL, Microsoft Translator. Autonomous robots, such as Boston Dynamics, NVIDIA, and Tesla. These are just a few examples. We didn't mention, for example, speech recognition or and other technologies, AI technologies. What is important to mention that artificial intelligence is not by definition simulation of human intelligence. It is by the words of the author of the term artificial intelligence, John McCarthy. It is the computational part of the ability to achieve goals in the world. So we cannot say now that artificial intelligence can replace humans. There are two general parts of artificial intelligence, so-called narrow artificial intelligence and general artificial intelligence. When we were just talking about different popular now technologies, it means artificial narrow intelligence, like smart speakers, self-driving cars, web search, and artificial general intelligence aims at the ambitious goal to do anything what a human can do. And later in some other videos we will discuss if what's the perspective of achieving this goal. But anyway, by now it's very far from being completed. So we discuss artificial intelligence. What is machine learning? It's important to understand that machine learning is a subset of AI that allows machines to learn from data without being programmed explicitly. So machine learning is a capability of making prediction based on data, and it learns rather than being programmed. For example, methods of clustering of data, recommender systems, virtual assistants, but they can learn by themselves rather than being strictly programmed. So in classical paradigm, we have rules, data, and then by programming some rules, we have answers. But machine learning, given the data and answers to some questions, learns by itself and makes rules. By itself, of course, the algorithm to learn is a game created by the human, but in some sense at least, we say that machine learning can define some patterns, for example, or classification algorithms based on data and answers. So again, machine learning system is trained rather than explicitly programmed. Famous quote by author Samuel, who is the author of the Arthur Samuel, who is the author of the checkers game. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence that gives computers the ability to learn without explicitly being programmed. So basically, this is the same definition as we have just discussed. It's interesting that, for example, early chess programs used only hard-coded logical rules without any learning. This was known as symbolic artificial intelligence. Machine learning, we can say that it arises from a question: could a computer surprise us? Rather than programmers crafting data processing rules by hand, could a computer automatically learn these rules by looking at data? For example, to automate the task of tagging pictures, you present a machine learning system with many examples of pictures already tagged by humans, and the system would learn statistical rules for associating specific pictures to specific tags, like different, for example, here, mapping different images of animals, images of different animals to specific tags, lion, tiger, cat, dog, etc. Also, what I would like to mention that in machine learning, we distinguish discriminative and generative models. So, discriminative models discriminate between different kinds of data instances, but generative models can generate new data instances. And there are typical representatives of each class. For example, for discriminative, we can put into this class logistic regression, support vector machine, neural networks, and naive Bayes, Gaussian mixture models, hidden recovery models, general adversary network to the class of generative models. So artificial intelligence methods, machine learning is a subset, yes, it's a subset of artificial intelligence. But what are the artificial intelligence methods which are not included into the category of machine learning? Artificial intelligence methods outside of machine learning are generally rule-based, logic-driven, and involve predefined knowledge or rules rather than data-driven learning. These methods include expert systems, which were popular in, for example, in 180s, 80s, 90s, symbolic artificial intelligence, search algorithms, and knowledge representation systems. While these methods were predominant in the early days of artificial intelligence, machine learning has become more popular now for tasks requiring adaptation and improvement over time. However, these non-machine learning approaches are still valuable in fields where well-defined logic or expert knowledge is necessary. So they still take place in some applications, have a place in some applications. Interesting that the first famous chess-playing computer, Deep Blue, which won a chess match against world chess champion Garry Kasparov in 1997, it didn't use machine learning techniques yet. Instead, it relied on traditional brute force search algorithms and sophisticated evaluation functions. It didn't learn from the games it played like modern machine learning systems, which use now, for example, so-called reinforcement learning, of course, reinforcement learning, yes, which is widely used in modern chess play and other computer games technologies. So, but on the contrary, modern systems like AlphaZero, developed by DeepMind in 2017, use machine learning techniques, particularly reinforcement learning, to teach themselves to play chess, Go, and other games without human intervention or pre-programmed knowledge. So we discussed artificial intelligence, machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence, and now deep learning is furthermore the subset of machine learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning that uses several layers within several or many layers, usually too many layers within neural networks to do some of the most complex machine learning tasks without any human intervention. What's the key feature of deep learning is that it allows to avoid a very complicated task of feature extraction. We must understand what features would characterize our objects to be classified. But deep learning artificially creates some features which are then used to classify, our object. Yes. So if in the first example of basic general machine learning, we have to know for example, color of the car, its weight, height, acceleration, consumption parameters, etc. So deep learning helps to find its own, usually quite artificial set of features, which can be used for the successive classification of such objects. This is a feature of deep learning. So again, we discussed artificial intelligence. Its subset is machine learning, and even further, deep learning is a subset of machine learning methods. And historically, the development in principle goes in the same way. In 1950s, first artificial intelligence were prominent. After some artificial intelligence winter, there was a renovation of interest with machine learning methods in 1980s, and then after next artificial intelligence winter, deep learning methods became prominent. So in this video we discussed these basic definitions and examples of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. I thank you very much for your kind attention.